Hello to you all.
There's so much content out there in general, and there's just so many fucking voices. Apparently, I'm in a podcast war with somebody. I didn't even. Have you heard of some dude named Eric Zane?
I've heard of Billy, but not Eric.
This guy just started trashing me on who are these podcasts. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? And then somebody sent me the clip.
Is this the free beer and hot wings guy?
Yeah, I Googled him, and he was on that show, Free Beer and Hot Wings, that fucking hacky. It was like, I think it was syndicated, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was.
So
the biggest market was Grand Rapids, Michigan, by the way.
I know. And I didn't even want to know anything about this dude, but I just did a little. First of all, his last name's not Zane. Of course, he had to change the name because that's what these radio dudes do. So I can't even pronounce his real last name. But yeah, it was just like he's trying to start this like radio war with me, and I'm like, I'm so not interested.
Hey everybody, this is Crank, also known as the White John Coffee. When I'm not busy servicing my Ford or cleaning up after my 4 tax deductions, I listen to the Eric Zane Show podcast, and so should you. Don't forget to support his sponsors, because hey, let's face it, the guy's not that talented, and he needs all the help he can get.
You know, everybody's got a sideways insult. Why can't you just love me? I'm very sensitive today. I'll tell you that right now. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. This is a daily podcast where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures Monday through Friday right here. Okay? And as you know, you can download the podcast wherever you download podcasts and at ericzaneshow.com. If you would, on the audio podcast, if you could subscribe, rate, and review, that would be very, very kind. I thought yesterday that Apple Podcasts shut me out because I got a message that said that there's a new feature on Apple Podcasts that if you sign up for it or something like that, it might cause. So now I didn't, but knowing my luck, it would have just happened somehow majestically, and no fault of my own because nothing is ever my fault. And so I was worried that it got screwed up because it showed up everywhere. It showed up on all the places that it usually does, but it did not show up on Apple Podcasts. I was like, oh my God. And I put out a message saying, all right, this is the big one. Because frankly, if my podcast is not available on Apple Podcasts, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. So, but then magically it showed up. And okay, now if you told me in whatever 1970 something that you could record something onto a digital source, which you would have to define, I wouldn't understand what that even means. And then just push a button, and then somehow the data is, I don't know how it gets. I still don't know how it gets from point A to point B, and then is reassembled, and then all people all around the world. Somebody in Ireland is going to be able to hear what you're talking about. I would have thought, well, that's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life, and there's no way possible that would ever happen. But yet here we are taking advantage of that. So welcome to all of you. I see the usual suspects are already making their way to the live stream, which you can get on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. If you could hit the like button, hit the share button, all those things. I appreciate that. As well, it is brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid for those of you in West Michigan. Twitter, a Periscope video at Eric Zane Show on Twitter. If you would follow the page, I'd appreciate it. Brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Thank you. And then, of course, on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, bell notification, thumbs up, off you go. And then I'm on Instagram as well. Occasionally I do fun things on Instagram. Instagram's brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Now, as we get started today, let me just tell you that we had a first last night, and boy, we had such a great time. doing the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Okay, now we do the show in front of an audience, which we kind of just stumbled up into that. The evolution of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. And for those who don't know, Ben, my old radio partner on WBBL, we hated each other. There was a period of time. Oh my God, that was ugly. Do you guys remember that? When Ben and I were like feuding. Shit blew up one day when Ben he posted some shit to Reddit about the show and me and working with me, and I'm tough to work with, and it was horrible. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then everybody turned on me. It was terrible. Then the battle lines were drawn. And then one day, out of the blue, Ben reached out and said, hey, man, we got to figure this out. And I go, I'm glad you reached out. Thank you. I'm not mad anymore. We should be friends. And then off you go. So that was cool. I'm happy about that. And since then, we've been doing this podcast on Patreon. So, and then when we stumbled upon the idea of a live audience, and I think because initially we started, it was Ben would come over the house. It was even during the pandemic, which obviously has been going on for the entire time that we've been doing that show. But that didn't stop us because Ben would come in here, we'd do the show. And, okay, great. And then, at one point it was like, it's just too much. How about we just do it via Zoom? And that's actually turned into the preferred way of doing it. I don't know why. We're kind of in a mode now. So Ben joins me, and then all of a sudden we started inviting more and more people in, audience members. And, occasionally we'll bounce stuff off of audience members. You guys have kind of established your own characters on your own just by being you, which is freaking awesome. I mean, oh my God. It's like a poverty version of Stern's. What were they called? The Rat Pack? Is that what Stern called them? You guys are my own Rat Pack. So, okay, great. And playing the game, Bet on Ben is cool. But then I had to bring the princess or the queen of the forest, Diana, my wife, in yesterday. And she's a freaking character in her own right. If you've ever heard her on the show, my God. And so I interrupted TV time with her and the NFK, my brother-in-law, who lives with us, as you know. Which, God, there has been so much that has happened in the past year and a half. If you just think back, by the time the pandemic started, well, there's obviously the pandemic. There was the passing of my brother-in-law, David, which brought the NFK to our house because those two live together, and he had nowhere to go. So, come on, this is now your home. You live with us. We're going to take care of you. I'm really happy about that. As much as I whine and moan and bitch about the nuances of the NFK, which well documented on this show, which I'm very happy about because it allows jumping off points of hilarity. Seriously. The fact that, Diana and her brother, Kevin, they're the last of the family. Everybody else has passed. The mom, the dad, and the sudden passing of her brother, David. So, and he's got no one. And frankly, we knew this day was coming. Okay. So there is no option there. I've actually had people say, well, why don't you just put them in a home? I'm like, what? What are you, crazy? First of all, I don't have a decision here. Okay. This is my wife's decision. And, I respect her so much. It was a no-brainer. You just, no, you put him in a home. Who the fuck would you crazy? Why would we do that? Come on. So, all right, bring him in. We'll just put up with there has been a real learning curve, like when he destroys the toilet and doesn't clean it up. And then I've actually had to take a putty knife and scrape toilet leavings off because it's so concussive and explosive when he fires the Hams beer shit howitzer. It's, oh my God, it's like the shores of Iwo Jima, man, when that thing into the toilet and then the shit freckles establish themselves on the underside of the seat. Yeah, that's all bad. But we've managed that over time. I've I got sick of scraping off the shit, and I actually said, hey, buddy, you got to do me a favor. What is it? Well, after you poo, you got to lift the seat and look. And because if it's still wet, it's easy to clean. I'll leave the cleaner there and the paper towel, just spray it and wipe it off, because otherwise it's hard to clean when it's become like a plaster on the underside of the toilet. Oh, okay, great. So, all right. But he doesn't sound like Jessica, by the way. I guess he kind of does. So it was with great joy yesterday that on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, when Diana joined us on Zoom from downstairs, I said, hey, hand the iPad over to Kevin. And there he was in his usual habitat of the chair watching Game Show Network. And I made him show the audience the Hams beer. He's not aware of the term the Hams beer shit howitzer, which is his asshole. And, you saw a legend. If you were smart, you would screenshot that from last night and order a T-shirt with him on it. I mean, I can't stop you from doing that. But if you were with us on Patreon, you saw the NFK in the chair last night. It was spectacular. Richard says you might want to check his cheeks for a repercussive ass blast. Oh, I am 1,000,000% convinced that his ass has leavings on it. There's actual evidence of this, which I really can't go into. It's too much. It's just too much. So, as much as we love him, and by the way, Adam says was great to actually hear the NFK say "some bitches," because he actually did use the term "I love them some bitches" or something like that at some point in that. But as disgusting as some of the key things are, we kind of just push those aside, and we just navigate our way through that, and you just figure it out, man. I mean, if I wanted to, every single day, I could bust his balls about something that doesn't make me happy. But you just gotta learn. You just gotta. It's very difficult when you're, okay, it's been Diana, Eric, and the kids for decades. You suddenly drop someone into your life like that. It doesn't matter if it's the NFK or anybody else. There's gonna be issues and quirks that take place that it's up to you to either, okay, does this need to be addressed, or can I just maybe sidestep this one and just learn to tolerate? Okay, some of the things I have learned to tolerate. The accumulation of whatever he touches, there's a disaster everywhere. And I have mentioned a lot of the things like the smudges on the fridge and the leavings of the everything bagel all over the counter. And I have mentioned those things, but after mentioning it once, it doesn't correct it. So I'm like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. But, when he took whole frozen hot dogs and put them inside of the microwave, not actually on a plate, and then heated them up, and then they go, kablam! They blow up in the microwave, and then the hot dog jizz is all over that plate that's in the microwave that spins around and around and around. I'm like, dude, you can't. It's a catastrophe. And I think it's the inability to realize that he's leaving a mess behind everywhere he goes. That's what's the most maddening thing. It's like, you have eyes that work. How is it that you open the microwave and don't clean it? Well, we have cleaning products. All right, so some of those things do get addressed, and then they do get worked out in the long run. Not all of them. So I was just Patriot Nick says the smudges that may or may not be peanut butter. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm getting myself into. I don't know what actually is on the fridge, and I don't want to have the CSI team come in with one of those swabs and get a sample and test it for feces. Yeah, I'm just gonna clean it and leave it alone. Okay, it's just we're lucky. We're lucky to have him. Okay. We've had so many amazing things happen because of him in a short amount of time, and it's only going to get better. Kenny says, can we all take a moment to notice how adorable all three of the dogs are behind Eric right now, all sleeping? Look at those three. Completely cashed. We are blessed. Oh, my gosh. Benny, the one-eyed wonder dog, sleeping alone. Very rarely is he seen on camera. Terry is here, and this is good because I'm going to talk about Terry. Terry sent me something that was super dumb. I'll get to that a little later on. Terry, I love you, but God, you just get in your own way sometimes. Paul says, why would the NFK pick up after himself? It's not like you're going to kick him out. Don't make this worse with your mouth, okay? Stop. Can't you just let it be? I've got football tonight, indoor arena football in beautiful Muskegon, Michigan. A handful of fans will be at the game for the West Michigan Ironmen. All right. Now, I've got a number of you audience members who are going to be going. I've got the Schaefers are going to be there. I've got Dave Postma wanted tickets. Josh wanted tickets. Jason Mays and family will be there. That is awesome. And then Matt, I think Josh is going to be there. For some reason, when I talk about this stuff, sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other. You guys just hear, oh, he's giving stuff away. But I said, okay, tickets are for Friday. And so I think Josh is going to be there. But also Matt Kuipers, who is the brother of the beloved Kevin Kuipers on this show that you
Are we going to be buying another third beer?
Matt's like, hey, can I get tickets? Yeah, you got tickets. I sent him the tickets. Hey, did you get the tickets? Yeah, I got them, but I can't go. Why? Well, I thought the game was Saturday. Come on. So I'm trying to give them to somebody else. All right. I'll be there. You'll be there. I'm hoping to be able to come and say hi to you. I don't know during the course of the game. I have actually only done public address work for this organization once. Last year, right at the start of the pandemic, just before everything got shut down, that was it. And then no more. Josh will be there. Thank God. Okay. So that's going on tonight. Now, today is the day that I get my COVID shot, my second COVID shot. Me, the NFK, and my daughter Jackie's boyfriend, Justin, all getting our COVID shot. So I actually like going there to see how well-oiled of a machine it is. If you, I don't care about, this isn't a discussion about you should get the shot, you shouldn't get the shot. Well, you should get the shot if you're smart, if like I am. But if you don't, whatever, that's your own decision. Again, I'll be dunking on you over the intensive care unit bed. How much of a well-oiled machine it is at DeVos Place. I mean, it is really great. You remember last week, was it last week or the week before that Kenny was complaining about how it was in Nashville? You kind of drove into a parking lot and people were there. It was all haphazard and stupid. And then Kenny's bored, so he's sending me pictures of some guy in a convertible with an umbrella. Like that was a big deal or something like that. I have no idea what the hell that was. But not the case here. It's a well-oiled machine, man. It is awesome. So that happens today. The Diana says, okay, make sure you drink your protein shake beforehand. I go, is that really a thing? Yeah, it is. It's true. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, if you drink a protein shake, if your shot is at 1:15, if you drank it about 10 a.m., your protein shake, you won't have as potential for like bad side effects, because some people it knocks them out. And I'm like, okay, I looked this up and I don't see anything about it. And she goes, no, it's true. I did it and it worked. I go, well, I don't know if you know how studies work, but just because you did it and you didn't get symptoms, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the protein shake that did it. She goes, yeah, but so-and-so in the teacher's lounge did it and it worked. So it's doubly true because this happened. And when Jackie got her shot on Wednesday, that's what she did. I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's true, but I guess I'll do it. Whitmer is in the news, the governor of Michigan, and Dirk sent this along to me, and he titled it, Dirk, this asshole, Whitmer lied about trip to Florida. Okay, now Whitmer is public enemy number one here in Michigan. Well, for half the people. The dumb half. The smart half, like me, thinks she's done an awesome job. And I'm not even a Democrat. I'm not afraid of saying that either. You know how there's no reason to beat you up more than you deserve. But Dirk starts this, he sends this link to me, and it says, Whitmer lied about trip to Florida. He says, you should stay put, but she can travel and her husband can take his boat out. That's a callback to last year when you see, it's always tainted with such a high level of snark with you pain in the ass cock. Okay? So I woke up and I that's the first thing I see is this bit of stupidity. And I wrote, well, there's no travel ban, stupid. And then he says, yeah, no travel ban, but she traveled while advising people to stay in her state. 2 classes, those that issue rules and suggestions and do what they want, and the common folk, as he writes. So I'm annoyed. So I wrote, so what? Sometimes people travel. That's what I said to Diana. She went to Florida. Big fucking deal. I said, so you're going to go to Florida. What are you going to do when you get there? She goes, well, we're going to wear our masks like we're supposed to do. We're going to stay away from people like we're supposed to do. We're going to do what we can and find it. We're not going to go and hang out at the beach and go to a fucking rave, for God's sake. You can fucking travel. All right? And this is where I got into the weeds. And what do you mean by Whitmer lied? I wrote back to him. And he wrote back, at what age did you quit grade school? He says, not me, it's the story you're ignoring. And then the headline that he posted reads, Michigan Governor Whitmer lied about travels before Florida trip revealed. Wait a minute. Michigan Governor Whitmer lied about travels before Florida trip revealed. Quote, I was here in town the whole time. And then I wrote, all right, maybe she did lie. Damn it, fuck you. Okay. This is where this stupid fucking bitch gets into trouble. Why the fuck would you lie? You're such an idiot. All right. If this is true, now you got to understand this comes to us from Fox News, and they're a bunch of assholes too. But I'm pretty sure she lied. And that's a fucking problem. Why? If you're going to be the one, okay, if I'm her and I say, I suggest you stay put, there's a surge going on, and I suggest you stay put. However, I would even get out in front. I would say, however, while if you don't have to travel, I suggest you don't. I certainly understand if you have to travel. If she said that would be fine. But this is where she's a stupid asshole, okay? If she said, I don't want you to travel and I just want to get out in front of this, I am traveling to Florida to visit my father. And then just left it at that. That's all I have to see my father. He's very ill. I'll be taking all the necessary precautions when I travel. And you can be rest assured that we will be safe. Whatever. She can talk about who in the hell in her family is vaccinated. She might even be fully vaccinated. I know she's got even one shot. And not that even matters because you're still supposed to wear your mask when you get vaccinated. I know some of you morons are like, why? Why do we have to do that? It's like, if I have to fucking explain all this shit to you, you look it up. But Whitmer is a stupid asshole for lying about this. Okay, it is. You cannot ignore. Even me, I cannot ignore this. This is too much, and I'm not going to be that guy. I am for this particular story. You're on your own, you dumb bitch, for this shit. Why the fuck would you do that? I don't care that you traveled. I honestly don't. I care that you lied about it. Because then you just look like you lose all credibility. You cannot be in the role that you're in trying to lead by example that you actually lie. Again, it's not about the travel. It's about the lie. Again, I'm a little concerned because it's Fox News and they hate her too, like a lot of you people do. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer lied about not traveling out of state. I can't even read. Let me start over. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer lied about not traveling out of state in a podcast interview last week, saying she was here in town the whole time. Whitmer admitted earlier this week that she traveled to Florida in March, despite cautioning Michigan residents against traveling out of state. Again, if it were me, I would say, I don't advise you traveling. However, I am going to. Just get out in front of it. Who the fuck is running the show for her when it comes to the PR? Last week, Whitmer joined the Michigan publication MIRS or MERS on their podcast, where she was asked by reporter Kyle Meelan if she was able to take any days off for spring break or over the past year amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Whitmer said she was here in town the whole time, spring break, and that the last trip she had taken was to Israel on official business. You idiot. Ted Goodman, I can't defend you if you're going to do this shit. Ted Goodman, the communications director for the Michigan Republican Party, blasted Whitmer for her travels, saying the problem wasn't that the governor visited her dad, but rather that she lied about it. I agree with Ted Goodman. Ted says it's also hypocritical as Michiganders were denied the same opportunity through her rules that lock people from visiting their loved ones in hospitals and nursing homes. You see, that's what it does. That's why you don't lie. The cover-up is worse than the crime because then they go back and they pin all this shit on you. You fuck it all up. In my opinion, she's going to be reelected in the upcoming election. But if you keep doing this shit, people don't like that. They don't like. I don't like liars. That's probably one of the worst things you can do. Whitmer previously responded to criticisms of her travels to Florida, saying that she was not vacationing in Florida, but was checking in on her ill father. And that's fine. I get it. She probably was. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt on that one. It is saddening. Whitmer told the Washington Post Live, it is a 2-day trip. I wasn't partying in Miami. I believe that. But it's just the lie. It's just the lie. It's all about the lie, you dumb idiot. Whitmer's office came under fire recently after it came to light that her State Department of Health and Human Service directors, Elizabeth Hertel, and Whitmer's newly minted health director traveled out of state as the governor's administration warned against it. I don't have a problem with any of that. Governor has blamed spring breakers returning from states like Florida for the uptick in cases in the Wolverine state. That's true. The traveling scandal coincided with the scrutiny. It's not a scandal, you fucking idiots. It's just a lie. It's all it is. No big deal. The traveling scandal coincided with the scrutiny over her controversial nursing home policies. Yeah. When is that? I would love to hear more about that. I mean, if that is what it is, why isn't something happening about that? Damn it. All right. So that's all what's out there right now. And it's impossible to ignore. I would not be doing my job if I ignored that. Son of a bitch! What a fucking moron. How could you possibly do that? Jeez. I guess O'Neill got down. All right. Hope y'all are doing okay. Who is Fakumo Duo Bobi? Is this a newbie, a new person who just discovered us and then sent is now spamming us or something? Yeah, I'll just get her. I'll get whoever this is off. Right? Block. Add to block list. So that's the end of that. Okay. So I just wanted to get that. Thank you, Dirk, for sending along that email. I'm totally pissed about it. This is weird. I heard from Theron, and I kept at 3:43. I got this message. So I don't know if Theron works late or what, but I wanted to include this in the open. As you know, yesterday on the show, I pointed out the stupidity of LeBron James, okay? The idea that LeBron James outed the cop who shot the 16-year-old near Columbus, Ohio, and then LeBron James doxed the guy, shared his image to his however many followers on Twitter, and wrote, "You're next," with a hourglass indicating justice is going to be served on this guy for shooting the 16-year-old. He did the dirty delete and then tried to cloud it all up with a long-winded tweet explanation of what he was thinking. And it was all weird. And I lit into him and said he's an asshole for all of this. Okay, that's that. And what shocks me is how my message can somehow get into people's brains, and then they twist my words and then try to call me out on it. Theron, who is a great listener, he listens all the damn time, and I'm very happy. But this is stupid, dude. He writes, "I kind of wanted to mention to you," and for some reason, I really hate that when this goes down, but somehow bringing it back to Trump. Let me just recap for you how I felt about James. I said he's an idiot. He was wrong for that, and that the cop is a hero. Theron writes, I wanted to mention to you that you thought Trump was guilty of the January 6th insurrection and getting everybody hyped up in the Capitol, even though he said go peacefully and protest. Yeah, that was thrown in as an afterthought. Don't pull my dick, Theron. You know exactly what he did. But you have no problem with LeBron's tweet. I absolutely had a problem with LeBron's tweet. I don't know where you how did you gather that I had no problem with LeBron's tweet? You idiot. The only thing I have ever said was I have no problem with athletes speaking their mind on social issues. That's all I've ever said. I have never said I have no problem with LeBron's tweet. If I said that, I was contextually describing it as I have no problem with athletes speaking out about social issues, because if you recall, that had come up recently with Brett Favre saying, I'm sick and tired of athletes. They just got to shut up and dribble. No, they don't. I want people to say what's on their mind. That's exactly what I said. And you manipulate my words into saying you have no problem with LeBron's. So he's trying to paint me as a hypocrite. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Are you crazy? I absolutely had a problem with what LeBron said. Jesus. I fucking talked about it at length yesterday. You have no problem with LeBron's tweet saying you're next. You don't think that would help create the fire with BLM and inciting violence? It's the same thing. Dude, let's focus here. Okay? Let me go over this step by step. Trump caused the January 6th insurrection. I'm telling you right now, that happened because of him. Undeniable, cannot be argued. I did have a problem with LeBron. And will that help create a fire with BLM? Probably. There you go. Problem solved. So I have a problem with all of those people. Don't fucking put words in my mouth and tell me what you think I meant. The fuck is wrong with you? Son of a bitch. Oh, I love you, but that's horse shit. Darren says, LOL, my bad, man. All right. And then Adam says, don't apologize. He'll think he's right. What the fuck? Darren, you know I love you. Adam says, word twisting on this show? No way. Adam, what the fuck? Adam, this will be a first. You know, you're going to have to work hard to do it. But if you get asshole of the day, that's going to break my heart. Okay? It's going to break my heart. Dirk, who's a dipshit, wrote, Trump did not cause the bullshit riot. Oh, you're so full of shit. Oh, my God. Listen to you. Oh, shit. Oh. And then then Dirk tries one of his wacky conspiracy theories. Weapons and bombs were found the night before. It was pre-planned, and plenty of vids show cops welcoming people in. Dirk, you know, you might have to sit a couple plays out. Go beat off to your Alex Jones poster for the day and try again. You've already won. You already have the little victory in your belt about the Whitmer thing, you stupid bastard. Can't you be happy with that? All right. As much as I yell at you guys, I love you very much. I've got merch, and I'd love you to wear some. EricZaneShow.com is where you find it. I just sold a couple of T-shirts last night. Some nice person bought a couple of tees. I appreciate that. Looks like I sold a I'm a Zaniac T-shirt and a Poverty Radio T-shirt. Date of sale, 4/23/2021. Your margin, $4. Oh, God, it's embarrassing. But thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not selling those to get rich. I'm selling those because I love doing fun things, and I hope that you will wear it. It really helps the show when you walk around wearing an Eric Zane Show podcast T-shirt. Thank you. EricZaneShow.com is where you find it. The open and the live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast brought to you this time around by my friends at TC Paintball. Do they have paintball in Ireland? Curious about that. Is that a thing in Ireland? Principled? We could get you to the U.S. here. Can you imagine if we got Principled to the U.S. and we did all the fun things here in this country? That would be just spectacular. We had a freaking paintball party with Principled. Principled says, yes, it's the only gun they allow us. Wow. Thank you, Jackie, for buying the T-shirt. All right. When it comes to the Paintball War number 14 coming up on May 16th, we have right now in the queue 11 competitors. I would love to get that closer to 30. We have till Sunday, May 16th. That's a 5 p.m. start for this paintball event. It's $35. You get the gun, you get the paint, you get the mask. We got a pizza party when it all gets started from BC Pizza on Lake Michigan Drive in Grand Rapids. I want to see you there. All you got to do is RSVP because Rick has given up actually putting a link and sending it to me so that you can sign up ahead of time. He hates progress. So let me know, Eric at EricZaneShow.com, if you want to participate in Paintball War number 14 coming up on May 16th. All right. TCPaintballGR.com if you want to book your own party whenever you want. We are going to do Jelly Ball. So somebody reached out to me. Who was it? Wait, I might even had Kyle Tomei say he's in. He said, are we going to do Jelly Ball for the little kids? And I'm like, well, of course we can play Jelly Ball. Jelly Ball, if you don't know, is these little teeny guns loaded with these little teeny tiny balls of jelly that if they hit your eye, it's going to hurt. So you wear the eye goggles. And it's like an indoor deal where there's no paint, no mess, or anything like that. So hell yeah, we're going to do Jelly Ball. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Something else fun, Cornhole America. I have potential to sell an Eric Zane Show podcast set of cornhole boards with me bent over and a hole where my asshole is through Cornhole America. Jackie in New Jersey is continuing her tour of states by going Jersey, Michigan, Jersey. Are you going to stay there this time? What's going on here? I would love to have Cornhole America send you a set of Cornhole America, Eric Zane Show podcast cornhole boards. She's like, they're expensive. I was like, well, yeah, they're the best things in the world. You will never need to buy another set of these. These are professional grade cornhole boards. $220. You're like, whoa. Yeah, okay, I understand that. But if you go and buy a shit set at whatever store, they're going to break after one playing, all right? Everything is custom about these things. And you can put whatever you want onto a set of cornhole boards. You can put a flag, your favorite sports team, your dick. It doesn't matter. You can, whatever it is, you can put it onto a set of cornhole boards. CornholeAmerica.com for more information. When you get there, type Eric Zane Show in the search field, and you'll be able to see the Eric Zane Show podcast cornhole boards. Okay. You're in Pennsylvania now? I didn't know that. Holy crap. Did you travel there? Is it another boy thing? Are you still boy crazy? I know you mentioned a man by the name of Matt. I don't know if I know Matt. But all right. Kenny says he really needs to just have one with the logo. You might sell more of those. No way. Are you crazy? All right. Jason says he's going to get some boards made with someone in a revealing pose. I bet. And Jackie says, yes, referring to it's a boy thing. She says, boy chasing all around the world. Well, I mean, I can see that. If you're chasing a girl from place to place or you got to go where the dick is. That's what you got to do. If the dick that you enjoy is in a certain location, you go to where the dick is so you can get more dick. That's what you do. Same thing for a guy. Okay? It's okay. You can do that. You're a big girl. Girl needs a dick once in a while. I can't even say that with a straight face. Okay, there's been another gender reveal incident, and it's a miracle that this one did not result in a death. The hillbillies in New Hampshire this time around are on the hot seat. We don't actually hear from the hillbillies in question. This is a tannerite incident, and if you don't know, that is a product you can buy. And I have so many questions about this tannerite, okay? But from what I'm understanding, and they talk about it in the story, you buy you buy the product, and then it's not explosive when you buy it, but then you blend it with like some type of agent, and then you have to shoot it, okay? And then when you shoot it, it explodes. And I'm like, how is it? For what purpose would you want this? And in the story, they say people do it for target practice. Well, no, set up a fucking beer can and shoot that. This is stupid. You cannot allow these idiots access to something like this so easily. I mean, why not just let them build a bomb? Seriously, every week there's something new. There's the plane crash in Mexico that just killed 2 people. that was involved with the gender reveal. You had the tannerite explosion that started the wildfire in California. You had the bomb that was made that blew up and killed grandma last summer. True story. The shrapnel actually went through her head, and she's dead. And then the incident in Michigan near Flint, where they had a cannon, and it blew up, and the cannon blew up, and the metal killed a family member. I mean, I think a dad even has been killed. There's been so many I can't even remember it. Hasn't there been like a father that was killed, like a father-to-be was killed? I mean, why would you ever even consider any type of gender reveal nowadays that involves explosions or aircraft? I mean, the pendulum has to swing back the other way, where we just say, hey, everybody, guess what? It's a boy. But anybody who's doing one of these, you need to know that these are stupid people. Okay, these are idiots. Anybody who has any degree of spectacle in this, I mean, my God, it is actually a blessing if the baby's parents get killed in the incident. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true, because the fact of the matter is these are stupid parents. They're probably going to raise a kid to be an asshole and a stupid kid. You're ruining the kid. You're going to be a horrible parent. Anybody who is using explosives to announce the birth of their child or an airplane doesn't deserve to live. There, I said it. Okay? It's just ridiculous. This happened again in New Hampshire, and it wasn't just a little bit of the product tannerite. My God.
For over 70 years, the legendary Golden...
All right, that's terrible. That's a cringe. That's a cringe of the week. That's some poor editing right there. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. That's what happens when you don't edit and you leave the commercial in the audio clip that you're trying to play for the audience. Son of a bitch! Come on! How long is this commercial? Send it to Carl. Send the cringe to Carl.
Around 7 p.m. Tuesday night on the property of Torromeo Industries, startling neighbors in Kingston and neighboring towns.
To have something like this occur outside normal business hours, and of all of the blasts that I have experienced, nothing...
Is she talking about jizz blast? Of all the blasts that I have experienced? Is this a normal thing in this area of New Hampshire? That explosions are constantly going off? I don't know. Maybe they live near a mine. I have no idea.
Outside normal business hours, and of all of the blasts...
There can only be blasts during business hours.
...that I have experienced, nothing was as loud as what we experienced on Tuesday night.
The sound was captured on a home surveillance system miles away in Plastow. For some, it knocked pictures...
Hold on a second. And in that moment, the doorbell cam or the security cam, it shakes. And think about that. Miles away, that was the effect.
It was captured on a home surveillance system miles away in Plastow. For some, it knocked pictures off the wall.
So you're telling me that idiots who wear Toby Keith T-shirts, have truck nuts, and gigantic trucks with pin dicks and hats with too much of a bent brim and look like fucking cavemen like Patriot Nick have access to something that can do this?
It was captured on a home surveillance system miles away in Plastow.
Yeah.
For some,
something needs to be done. This cannot be allowed.
Knocked pictures off the wall. For others, they told authorities cracks formed in their home's foundation.
What?
This just caught us completely off guard.
Police say 80 pounds of a substance known as tannerite exploded during a gender reveal.
80 pounds! 80 pounds of tannerite. Okay, come on. So the idea is they've got the blue chalk mixed in so that when the nuclear bomb goes off, it's blue. Yay! What a horrible thing.
Party. The substance is an over-the-counter explosive target used for firearms practice. The person who purchased and detonated the tannerite is cooperating with investigators.
Let me just say this. For anyone who says that that is against the government taking away guns. This is who they're thinking about when they want to take away the guns. The same idiot who wants to blow up 80 pounds of tannerite to announce the gender of his baby. These are the people that are going to wear the shirt that says, "Come take it from me." Yes, we need to take it. We need to take everything from these people. Take the tannerite, take their guns, take their children, take their money, take their home, take everything from people. Absolutely.
Gators.
It comes with that oxidizer. The fuel's in a separate packet. You mix it, and then once it's mixed, you would place it someplace safely out in some kind of a range where you would then shoot it.
The state police bomb squad says tannerite can be dangerous if not used properly.
Wait, really? Did you hear that? No kidding.
For example, you're doing it near private property where the explosion could damage property.
Who gives a shit about the property? It could kill the fucking baby that's in mom.
For example, you're doing it near private property where the explosion could damage property, start a fire, start a wildfire, something of that nature. There's statutes that pertain
Kill
to all
people.
of that. If used
This guy's an idiot too. Yeah, there could be some real problems if it's too big. You could start a fire and maybe damage a building. What?
Properly or irresponsibly, the consequences could be very serious.
The police chief tells us this investigation will continue and charges may be possible. Reporting in Kingston, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Yeah, I think life in prison would be appropriate at this point. Holy shit. Man. This is ridiculous. Kenny making some good sense. I'd like to see that. He says, M80s were made illegal in some places, but this tannerite stuff is okay. It makes no sense. Yeah, you take something like this and you give it to the hillbillies of the world, you have a potential for real problems. Richard says, Eric, check this out. And then he sent me a link. I don't know if I can click on it right now. Man. Terry with a good one. Must be friends with the dad of the kid who lost his thumbs. That idiot. Dirk, who's on my shit list, writes, tannerite is a 2-part compound that is not explosive on its own. Yeah, we know that. We already heard it in the story. Thanks. It has to be hit with a high speed. We've said all of this. Are you trying to make it seem like you're smart when you're really not? Okay? We covered all of this ground already, and there you are repeating what the big people already said. Look at him. He's like, oh, yeah, it should be 100 yards away from the target per pound. Yeah, I know shit. The fuck is wrong with you? My God. I've had it. I've just had it. Everybody thinks they're so smart. In Maine, the limit is 5 pounds at a time. You should be jailed. All right. Thank you to Bleeding Heart Brian, who, what did he send me the other day? Oh, yeah. Bleeding Heart Brian sent me a video out of Grand Rapids. TMZ covered it, of some idiot getting punched by a cop. Cops can strike you when they're trying to restrain you. You do realize that, don't you? That is a thing. Anybody who thinks that a cop who is trying to do his or her job doesn't have the ability and it doesn't think that they should not have strikes in their playbook, thinks that they shouldn't have that, is making a huge mistake. This guy's losing his mind, and you see this one cop go, fucking knock it off, and bam, 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 punches this dude in the face. And the guy's like, whoa, my God, what do you hit me for? And the guy's like, because you're not fucking complying. Stop resisting arrest. You're going to get your ass kicked if you resist arrest. That is going to happen, okay? Bleeding Out Brian's making this. You see, the thing is now, because of all of the things going on with the craziness of Chauvin, now everybody who has a video of a cop doing his or her job thinks that anything that isn't like, hey, because, if a cop goes, hey, I'm going to have to arrest you. And the guy goes, no, I'm not doing that. Okay, no problem. That's not going to happen. Holy shit. What are you doing? Oh, my God. Anyway, totally unrelated to what I wanted to talk about. He sent along this story about what, oh, my God, in Detroit, which it seems like 90% of the homes in Detroit, Michigan are like abandoned. What were once great homes are now abandoned. Homeless people go and they They set up shop inside of homes that are abandoned. Okay. And then they live there for like a long time. It's called squatting. And there's even a set of rights for squatters. There's like if you go and claim a house, it's actually gotten to a point where it's somewhat difficult to get someone out of a house that's not theirs. It's really crazy. But that's not what this is about. Odds are the guy in this story did not have anybody on him doing a well check.
Yeah, this is a very bizarre story, just so strange that we thought maybe it might be a hoax, but I did look at a photograph of this skeleton indeed lying on the sofa. Take a look.
I see all kind of stuff. I mean, these are abandoned houses we're talking about.
It's Quincy Norman's job to clean out old vacant houses. He works for a company that contracts with the Detroit Land Bank. On Thursday afternoon in the 900 block of East Hollywood in Detroit,
I walked past a couch that I walked past like a week ago. And the same, like nothing has changed in the house. I just didn't see it until today.
Lying on the couch, a human skeleton
was leaned over on the couch like
okay, so Quincy has been in the house in the past week. He's been working on the house and he never noticed the skeleton on the couch. Huh? What the fuck?
Yeah, man. I've been in there for doing all sorts of shit, renovations, ripping out the drywall, whatever he's doing to the house. And there's there's a skeleton on the couch. A guy went down, however long ago, laid down for a nap. And then if you drive by there and you see a couch that says free, don't take it. Do not take it.
Had been asleep or something, like he may have fallen asleep.
Quincy rushed his crew out of the house, locked the front door, and called 911.
It wasn't nothing that it was like,
Been a perfect time to say, if the reporter then looked at him and said, is he okay? Then that would have worked because no one said he's dead. All they said it was a skeleton. Was he okay? That would have worked beautifully right there.
Can't be around it or anything like that. It was just kind of like, oh, all right, well, we got to do something about this.
Meanwhile, neighbors tell Fox 2 they haven't seen anyone living here for about 2 years. They remember a man squatting at the house after he was no longer...
Really no need to go with the sirens on. I'm pretty sure that this is not an emergency. They can take their time getting to the residents at this point.
...longer able to pay the property taxes. But right now, no one knows if the remains Quincy found belongs to that man or someone else.
Especially like during these COVID times, you definitely want to keep the family close because if the body...
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
He was in there for a year plus. That means nobody called, or even if they tried to call, they couldn't get in contact with him. I hope they find out who this guy is, because it's like
this is what's going to happen to Stu McAllister in 1 year.
It's a very
that was not cool. I'm sorry, Stu.
Fortunate.
I'm sorry that's true.
He had to go like that. You know what I mean?
And of course, that photograph just too graphic to show on the air. Meanwhile, the medical examiner's office has so much to figure out. We don't even know if this was a man. Possibly it could have been a woman. How long has this person been deceased? How did they die? So many unanswered questions tonight. Hugh and Monica, back to you.
Yeah, it is troubling. Are there neighbors that are in close proximity to that house, homes that are inhabited that are right next door? They have to be pretty shocked by all of this.
Oh my gosh, they were so shocked. I mean, there's houses on either side. There's houses across the street.
There's no reason to be shocked. I've seen this neighborhood before. It's a shithole.
All not, people living in them. The people across next door, when I told them why we were there and what happened, they literally were like, oh my gosh, we had no idea. They never smelled anything. They never sensed anything. They literally just thought this guy was squatting 1 minute and then possibly...
there's no reason to say literally so much.
He just moved out. So really a mystery all around. Hopefully the medical examiner's office, though, will be able to try and piece together this puzzle.
Yeah, I think the puzzle is pretty simple. It's what you just said. Guy squatted, went down to take a nap. His little heart said, all right, it's time to cash in our chips. We're out of here. And then that was that. And then that dude, I can't believe he was working in the house for that long and he never noticed the skeleton there. My God. Incredible. All right. Kenny says, millennial news reporter. Great. Yeah, I know, man. It is an absolute problem these days. The amount of times people say that. Oh my God. Just had a dog fart in here. Let me go back in time and tell you this story. Back in time to just a handful of hours. This is absolutely incredible. This is a biological wonder that took place. And you're probably going to look at me differently. Well, no, you're not. This is expected. Last night, well, actually during the day, I was, as the morning was getting started yesterday, I made Diana's lunch. And she said, look, I just bought this new pico at Meijer, and I'm told it's really good. And so I open it up, and I look inside, and I go, this looks good. It's got little bits of corn and black beans and very small, finely chopped onions and finely chopped tomatoes and little green chilies in it and cilantro. And it looks awesome, man. It looks really, really great. And so I tried some of it, and I go, oh, my God, this is absolutely fantastic. So I put it in the container for her, and I put it in her lunchbox, and off she goes, okay? Great. And then I started to eat some of it. And before I know it, I've consumed a ton of this. So I go, this is so good. Well, I have to go get like 3 more packages of this today. So this was all yesterday, and that's exactly what I did. I go, hey, where's that pico? And by the way, I can make this. I'm gonna make this on my own, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go buy it. She goes, okay, it's right over there in the deli foods, right by where the hummus. Or no, it doesn't matter where it is. I'm giving you too many details. I get it. I get it home, and then yesterday, I just obliterated it. This is like 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I just crushed it. Okay. Now, the story doesn't end there, though. And Amanda says, I'm so glad I'm not eating. And you're absolutely right. Okay? Because if you're eating right now, this is going to be terrible. You need to put the food aside. Because this morning, the alarm goes off at 6:20, and I hit snooze. And then 10 minutes pass, and it goes off again. I hit snooze again. And then we've got 10 more minutes to lay there. But Diana gets up, and she can't make it through the 10 minutes because something has happened. All right? By the way, Principal, good luck on the dental appointment. He says he's got to go get his teeth fixed. What the hell happened? Did you get in a fight? Did you not take care of your chompers? All right, I want a full report about what happened to your teeth. I knew it was trouble this morning when my ass felt hot. It went, and it was actually warm. There was heat there, and I went, uh-oh. And right away, I thought of the story about when I made Diana's brother, the NFK, puke onto his pants with the hot zester. This is a return to Zestville. It was a absolute hot zester. No, they're asking, did you poop the bed? No, I did not shit the bed. But it was a fart okay, typically if you fart, at least for me, you have a bit of time before it travels from undercovers, and sometimes it won't if you go to a true covered wagon format, to reach your olfactory region, okay? And depending on the magnitude of the fart on the fart scale, you might not even get it. The quickness at which the fart hit our faces was stunning. And her back was to me at the time, and she turned around with this look on her face like she goes, oh my God, oh Jesus Christ, son of a bitch. And she throws the covers back and she's gone. She's like, and I'm like, yes, I did it. And let me just tell you, this fart had so much onion in it. It was actually somewhat taste tempting. I was like, it had a ring. If you didn't know that this came from my asshole, you would have thought that this was like Mrs. Dash or something. It had holy fuck. It just had a quality of culinary exquisiteness to it because of the amount of ingredients that's in my turd. And so the air kind of worked its way around the fart and grabbed all of the seasoning and just out into the place. So I can stress go to Meijer and get the Meijer brand Pico and really, really load up on it. You can drop some massive bombs the next morning that will cause an uproar, an absolute bit of hilarity. Oh, just incredible fart. And I went, oh, this is excellent. This is an excellent fart. I love this fart. Oh, I was so pleased with my handiwork. And she was like, oh, God, oh, shit, fucking son of a bitch. What are you doing? And she runs into the bathroom. She's like, oh. I'm like, yes. It was the timing. It was how quickly the covers didn't do anything to tamp it down in any way, shape, or form. Oh, it was spectacular. I am so proud of myself for this. All right. Alexis says, I'm taking this to the next family reunion for them assholes that I hate. They might like it. They just might like it. Richard says, the worst farts are right before you shit because they are right next to the turd. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. And that's why it was a perfect storm. The turd was right there, and the air had to work or funnel its way through it, burrow through the turd, and all that stuff's grabbing onto the air molecules and just right into the air. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy with this. Rick from TC Paintball is taking time away from working on the link to prepay to write literally the asshole of the day. Thank you, Rick. I'm never going to let you live that down. Hey, I got a great idea. What is it, Rick? I'm going to come up with a link so we can prepay for paintball. Okay. 8 months later, I got a guy who's really handy with IT, and he's going to do it for me. Okay, cool. Fuck. I'm just busting your balls. All right, I got an email of the day. It's great from Joe Morin, who is turning into quite a snarky asshole, that Joe Morin. Okay. And the story of Michigan Congressman Jewel Jones takes Don't You Know Who I Am to a new level. This guy is an asshole. I can't wait to talk about this. All right, but as you know, I put my heart and soul into everything I do concerning podcasting. I put my heart and soul into everything. I put my heart and soul into fart production, into storytelling, taking care of my puppies. Not taking care of the house. The house is a shithole. But anyway, I put my heart and soul into podcasting for sure. Podcasting, whether it be the free one or the Patreon, you would make my day. Richard just signed up for Patreon. I'm so happy. Scott Marklovitz just upgraded from $5 a month to $10 a month. Thank you so much. I try to put so much into the Patreon so that there's something for everybody on there. $5 or $10 a month. A lot of people only put like one bonus episode a week or a month on their Patreon. Not me, man. I put 5 Patreon bonus episodes a week on there. I put the Lost Zane recordings, which is 6 hours a week. I put the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast on there. I put Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia on there, which you can play. And I put the Insane Asylum on there, all on my Patreon. $5 or $10 a month. $5 is all audio. $10 is audio, video, and live streams. I suggest you try it. If it stinks, cancel it. You'll get the rest of that month free. Not free, but as part of what you paid for. If you like it, though, either let it ride or convert it to a yearly. And I am the only person on Patreon who offers, if you convert it to a yearly, 10% off. You go to anybody else's Patreon, they don't offer this. If you take a monthly and make it a yearly, I'll save you 10%. That's a $6 savings per year on the audio, $12 savings per year on the audio video. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. For heating and cooling needs in West Michigan, call upon A&E Heating and Cooling. All right, 616-516-8579. Time is running out. You've got about a week to book an AC tune-up for only $69. Normally, this is $79, which already is cheaper than all the other people in town. And you're supporting a sponsor, which I know you love to do. Get this done. You should have this done every single year. I have my air conditioning serviced by Joe Martinez and his crew every year, and my furnace system. So I see him twice a year. He's gonna, when he comes and visits you, by the way, to tune up your AC, he's gonna try to sell you a 1-year thing where a furnace tune-up and next year's AC tune-up is paid for all at once. Do that, because it's gonna save you even more money. Okay, it's even cheaper when you do it that way. And then he'll just schedule it when the time is right. A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. Have the ultra handsome Joe Martinez show up at your place and maybe teach you some forbidden Spanish.
Tu madre es una puta.
Wouldn't it be something if we got Principled Uncertainty in Ireland to learn Spanish?
Tu madre es una puta.
Where he could speak Spanish with that thick Irish accent of his, and we could have him walking around the streets of Belfast or wherever it is he's walking around telling people their mother's a whore.
Tu madre es una puta.
That would be something spectacular. A&E Heating and Cooling. If your car is in trouble, needs some work, maybe some scheduled maintenance, Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, 616-532-6600. I should say Irvine's Auto Repair and Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. All right. They are awesome. Great group of people over there. Call them up. It's 616-532-6600. For more information and schedule your work, you can also go to irvines.com and check them out, what they have to offer on their website, maybe their Google reviews. They have a ton of material on there, and they basically take care of everything when it comes to maintenance for a vehicle. Could be a wheel alignment, whatever, oil change, transmission fluid change, power steering fluid, radiator, you name it, they do it. They can service your car. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Thank you. All right. Okay, email of the day comes to us from Joe Morin. Dirk sending more nuttiness about pipe bombs found before riot. Yeah, so what? Who cares? 5 pounds of tannerite exploding. Yeah, I've seen that before. That is big. Can you imagine 80 pounds of tannerite? My God. Email of the day comes to us from Zaniac Joe Morin. He writes this. Eric, I was listening about LeBron James. posting a picture to his Twitter of the police officer that saved the girl by shooting the crazy knife-swinging 16-year-old. I'm hoping that cop sues LeBron James for a lot of money for exposing his identity. Yeah, I don't know if that would work. I'm not sure if he has any legal ground, but I think professional athletes need to be more cautious about their opinions on things, especially when they are wrong. Well, there's no question. LeBron James was out of line there. I'll definitely give you that. In my opinion, LeBron James should have simply said, yeah, I'm going to sit a few plays out. I was way wrong for doing what I did, but he didn't really do that. He's kind of an asshole. Yeah, so he says they need to be more cautious about their opinions on things, especially when they are wrong. Then he writes, this reminds me of a shitty podcaster that I frequently listen to. I think I need to find better taste in my listening habits. Wow, I don't know who that could be. You know, I kind of just pay attention to myself, so I have no idea who that. I'm curious to find out who you're referring to. A shitty podcaster reminds you of LeBron James because the shitty podcaster needs to be more cautious about his or her opinions on things, especially when they are wrong. That's weird. All right, I don't know who you could be talking about. That is your email of the day. You too can be email of the day by sending it along to eric@ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Shoreliners Striping. Reach out to them at shorelinerstriping.com if you need the parking lot striped and or swept. They've got this big, gigantic machine that goes through and sweeps out your parking lot, so you don't have to. It's dirt cheap to get it done, too. Also, if you've got an athletic field that needs to be striped, call upon Shoreliners Striping. Bad news if you're a state lawmaker in the state of Michigan and your name is suddenly found out by everybody, not only in the state, but the world. State, country, and world. You know, state lawmakers outside of the district that they serve, most people don't know who the hell they are. Honestly, I could not tell you who the state representative is in and around where I live. I'm guessing it's probably a Republican, knowing by where I live. But this gentleman, by the name of Jewel Jones. Jewel Jones is a Democratic state representative. All right. And this is an extreme example of don't you know who I am? It kind of like is when someone who thinks they're famous tries to, hey, maybe you can cut me a break, officer, because of who I am. It's one of those things. And this is absolutely one of those examples. Now, Jewel Jones is in the middle of his third term as a state representative. And let me explain this to you. Jewel Jones is only 26. So I would say that this Democrat in the great state of Michigan, I mean, if you're 26 years old, a representative from the community of Inkster, you've done very well. You've been reelected. You ran, you won, you were reelected. You finished that term. You're reelected again. You're finishing your final term in office. I would say that if you're a 26-year-old getting so started into politics, that the future is very bright for you. If you are one Jewel Jones, okay. Now you got to understand here. He's probably fairly woke. All right, I'm not going to go down that road. Whatever. You know, he represents his people in his district and probably tries to do the best that he can. You know there's trouble, though, because he has a vanity license plate that says elected on the back of it. Okay, great. So he probably is very proud of that fact. Okay. Well, Jewel got drunk. And the cops the Michigan State Police pulled Jewel over because he was on I-96 and he somehow lost control of the vehicle and it rolled into the ditch. Actually, it's described as he pulled off of the shoulder of the road, and I think he might have just gone too far, and then it rolled in, according to the way it's written. You know how, like, whenever you got to pull over, maybe take a leak, or so for whatever reason you're pulling over, you don't want to go over too far, and some of those hills to the right or left of the road, it could absolutely happen. Okay? All right, so the cops show up, and they think that Jewel Jones is hammered. So they did the requisite test, and sure enough, it did turn out that Jewel was intoxicated, and the police suspected such, but he did not agree to a breathalyzer. They had to get a signed warrant and actually draw blood, and then they revealed that he was more than twice the legal limit of being. He was shit-faced. Okay. This is where it gets fucked. Because honestly, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're involved in an incident where you're shit-faced, I mean, for me, I would love to see that anybody who's a drunk driver would get the book thrown at them. But I mean, frankly, there's not a lot that's really going to happen to you. It's not a huge deal. I wish it were a bigger deal, but it's not. And I don't think that this actually ruins your career. I think that most lawmakers, politicians, they always do fucked up shit. So a Dewey is no biggie. Okay, I mean that's kind of like par for the course. Jewel, though, really has a high opinion of himself. This is according to the state troopers, and I believe the video that I have not seen. Quote, "I don't give a fuck, bro. When I call Gretchen, I'll need y'all's IDs, badge numbers, everything." He's threatening to call the governor of Michigan, who, she can't fucking get out of her own way because the story I had for you earlier, when she got busted lying, she'd probably be like, "Yeah, you call me." She's like, I don't know, Jewel Jones. She's probably going to lie about that too. This is what the cops said and according to the police report that the Detroit News obtained on Wednesday of this week. So he said, "I don't give a fuck, bro. When I call Gretchen, need y'all," this is the actual words, "need y'all IDs, badge numbers, everything." So this guy is acting like an asshole. He also said, "It's not going to be good for you. I run y'all budget, bro," according to a trooper on the scene. Ooh. And it's true. Jewel Jones actually oversees the state funding of the Michigan State Police. So Jewel Jones is heard telling the state troopers who busted this asshole, who did their job, that he's going to call if you're Whitmer, you're like, "Hey, motherfucker, shut up. Shut up." Oh, my God. Eventually, Jewel Jones was taken to the ground, and a stun gun was used twice, and then that was ineffective. That's why, by the way, side note, when the cop who killed the chick in Columbus, that's why a taser is not a great idea. It doesn't always work the way you want it to. The stun gun on Jewel was generally ineffective, so they pepper sprayed him because he wasn't cooperating. He wasn't cooperating. And then that as they attempted to get him into the handcuffs, Jones was booked overnight in the Livingston County Jail, released the next day, pending results. He was charged with 4 counts of resisting and obstructing a police officer operating a vehicle with a high blood alcohol content, operating while intoxicated, reckless driving, and he had a weapon. Possession of a weapon while under the influence of alcohol. That's a problem, too. His lawyer said he and his client were reviewing the evidence, that they're not going to comment. That's translation. The lawyer's like, he's fucked. 0.19, legal limit is 0.08 in Michigan. EMS and troopers said Jones appeared drunk at the scene of the crash. EMS said that when they got there, he's like laying in the car's rolled over, and he gets out and he pulls out a badge Apparently, he's an auxiliary cop for some police force. Like, he's the guy. So he busts out I'm okay. Here's my badge. So he's the guy. An auxiliary cop is the one who, like, outside of the concert venue, he's the one directing traffic, or something like that. That's the role of the auxiliary cop. So this guy tries everything, every trick in the book, trying to get out of the fact that he's shit-faced. He tried to show the officers the badge, show officers a badge instead of his ID. They said, we need to see your ID, and he busts out the badge. When they continued asking for an ID, he shook his arms as if he were about to do something. He refused to provide the ID. Troopers then attempted to restrain him and brought him to the ground. That's when he refused to comply with commands. This is when people get beat, okay? This is what happens when people get their ass kicked. Refused to comply with the commands to put on handcuffs. They used the stun gun, then the pepper spray. Third law enforcement officer from the community of Fowlerville, where this all happened, helped to get Jones' left arm into the cuffs. They found the loaded Glock in the cup holder. Oh, my God. He's also a member of the National Guard, the Army Reserve Officers Training Corps. So this guy knows better. Auxiliary cop in Inkster. He's a vice chairman of the House Military Veterans and Homeland Security Committee. What an asshole. I'm going to call the governor, and you're in trouble because you're doing your job. You see, Whitmer, it would probably be a good idea after this lie was revealed that she should deflect some of that heat by throwing this idiot under the bus for this behavior. That is really, really terrible. Okay. Hire me on Cameo. I just did a Cameo the other day for Melinda live on the podcast, and it was great. So I have another one here that I want to do live for Nick. So I'm going to do a live Cameo right now. I know you guys like when I do this. There's always a bit of trepidation when I do a live Cameo, though, because I'm afraid I'm going to fuck it up. Nick hired me, cameo.com/Eric Zane. I don't know what app you used, but I'm only getting like $8.50 out of the $16 it costs. That's okay. I mean, it's already there. It doesn't matter. But Nick says, roast me again. It's been far too long. If you want in on this, go to cameo.com/Eric Zane and hire me. It's just $15.99. Now, not everybody's going to want to roast. Mother's Day is May 9th. I would love to be saying something very sweet about your mother or the mother of your children. I'm telling you, I'm really going to do well for you on this and make somebody feel good who is so deserving of it. The mother of your children or your actual mother. Hire me on cameo.com/Eric Zane. Okay, let's do this. So the way it is, I hit this button and then it goes 3, 2, 1, and then I'm recording. So here you go. Okay. Nope, no, I can't do that. Hold on. Hang on. Because the heater's going and it's going to make noise. The phone's going to pick it up, but the microphone doesn't pick it up. So I had to start. Oh my gosh, we have come so far. Thank you for this. I really appreciate you taking all of the money that you collected on the street in bottles and cans to spend it on me. Another great reason why your lovely wife, who's a total babe, by the way, should leave you, because you're spending the money that you should be spending on cheese and oatmeal on something like me, you dumb fuck. It's wonderful that you married a emotionally disturbed and mentally challenged woman, obviously, who's beautiful, who doesn't know better than to ditch your ass. That's the only logical explanation for why such a beautiful human being is with you. But actually, I actually feel kind of bad about that joke because I don't want to say that your wife is emotionally and cognitively impaired, so that's all stupid. But you get my point. How the fuck did you
You, who looks like Barney Rubble's fucking asshole, land a fucking babe. My God. And does she actually say, yes, I want you to grow that beard. I want you to look like a fucking caveman. Is she blind? Did you marry a blind woman? That's the only other logical explanation. You must have married a blind woman and convinced her that you're handsome. Truth be told, I've seen you when you have the camera at the right angle and you don't look half bad. But then again, you're a fucking moron. So there's all sorts of downside to her being with you. And the fact that she actually had 3 of your beautiful babies. Okay, never before has there been a case made for immediate removal of children from a household than with you leading the charge into battle. All right, so here we go. 3 more kids into poverty. Nick's in charge. Oh, my God. All right, thanks again for agreeing to pay the money for this stupid cameo. I can't believe you make such terrible financial decisions. And then you spend money on Patreon that you don't fucking have. You idiot. Fuck off. Oh my gosh, we have come so far. Thank you for this. I really appreciate. All right, I'm not going to listen to the whole thing. I think it did okay. Look at that. Number 89. 89 cameos to date. And every single one of them better than Vince Neil. Thank you, Nick. Truth be told, I love you very much. I only mean 95% of what I said. If you would like that, go to cameo.com/Eric Zane. That's how it works. All right. Where am I? Thank you to my friends at Gift of Life Michigan with all the initiatives that are out there and the word being spread about organ donation. And thank you to them for letting me tell you about them. If you need more information about organ donation, and you know that's very, very near and dear to me, go to my website, ericzaneshow.com. There is a logo on there. It looks just like that one over my shoulder. It says Gift of Life Michigan in blue and green. Click on it, and everything you need to know about organ donation is there. They are awesome, great group of people to work with, and I'm so glad to be part of their organization. Thank you so much. Mario Flores, Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I'm going to see Mario tonight. His football team, the West Michigan Ironmen, playing football at Mercy Health Arena in Muskegon. I'd love to see you there. Anyway, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, they're behind that. You can reach out to Mario about getting your own mortgage. Please get a mortgage. Here's some tips for you from your old pal Eric. Get the mortgage before you start looking for the home. Make sure that the mortgage you get and the homes you look for, let's say you have a mortgage approval for $170,000. Look at houses that are $160,000 because there's such a demand right now. It's such a seller's market, okay, that the listed price is going to turn into a bidding war with other people that want that same house. So make sure that you can go higher, all right? I watch the news. I know these things. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage can get you into the best mortgage that you can possibly get. And for some of you, you got great credit. You're going to get an awesome mortgage, really, really low rate. Others that have bankruptcy issues, credit problems, divorce, whatever it may be, no, you're not going to get the super low rate. However, he can get you into a mortgage, and then you can improve your rate on the next mortgage because you make on-time payments, your credit score goes up. He's helping you rebuild your credit. No matter where you are, reach out to Mario, okay? Just click on his logo at ericzaneshow.com for more information or call Mario at 231-332-6505. Ask him if you qualify, because some of you people, like if you're in Maine, I know that Mario cannot do work in Maine, but call him anyway, no matter where you are, and let him tell you if he's licensed in that state. Because I actually found out after the fact, because I had been saying, it doesn't matter where you are, like I just said, but it actually wasn't true. There are some states he's not licensed in. I think he's only licensed in 29 of the 50. So call and make sure. If you can do it, I highly recommend it. Thank you to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. All right. How about this crazy bitch? This lady in Iowa is,
She says she was crazy and a paranoid schizophrenic, which, and so, I don't know if those are necessarily synonymous. Paranoid schizophrenia, very, very serious thing, but I don't know if that gets you out of trouble if you just say, yeah, I'm a paranoid schizophrenic and I'm insane. And then the judge in this case, which I'll tell you about, is like, okay, well, I need to determine if you're sane. We need some medical people to look at you. And they're like, we don't think she's insane. So, yeah, go ahead and prosecute her to the fullest extent of the law. Well, what could she have possibly done that was so bad? Nicole Poole Franklin, 43-year-old lady. And I'm going to share the screen with you so you can see the look in her eye, so you can tell that she is 100% batshit crazy. Look at that. With that little wry smile on her face, you know she's batshit crazy. If you look like that in a mugshot, there's no doubt. They don't even need to have the trial. They just go, all right, she's guilty. Screw her. Nicole was driving down the street, and she decided that the guy who had brown skin was a member of ISIS. So she decided to smash into him. It was actually a kid, a 12-year-old boy. She said, this kid is a member of ISIS because he looks like he's from the Middle East. So she smashes into the 12-year-old kid. And the kid's like, oh, fuck, shit. She takes off. He's like, oh, my God, you see that lady? She looked crazy as fuck. Holy shit, oh, my God. People are trying to help the kid, and she drives off, so it's a hit and run. Awful. But this sick bitch is not done. Minutes later, she sees a Latina girl, okay? And she's like, oh, my God, well, I got to take this one out, too. And she runs over her. That kid is in the hospital for 2 days after this one. Now, this happened some time ago, but it's coming up because the judge is throwing the book at her. Police said Franklin told them she hit the girl because, quote, she's a Mexican. And then she drove off. About an hour later, this idiot was arrested at a local gas station where cops say she was throwing items at a clerk while yelling racial slurs at the dude and other customers. Franklin said, yep, I'm schizophrenic and I have post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, don't we all? A judge had ruled that she was not mentally competent to stand trial, but she was later restored to mental competency and ordered to face trial. How does that even happen? She's not mentally fit. She is mentally fit. Ugh. The federal counts carry a possible life prison sentence, but prosecutors recommended that she be sentenced to 27 years behind bars. Wow. Boy, I wonder if she's going to get more than Chauvin. How much prison time does Chauvin face? It just popped into my head. How much prison time does Chauvin face? Anybody guess? I say 20 years. No, I'm way off. The charges against Chauvin collectively amount to 75 years. The judge must focus on the most serious charge of second-degree murder, which carries a maximum of 40 years behind bars. All right. That makes sense. So back to this idiot. 25 years behind bars. It wasn't clear if other state counts, including hate crimes, would be dropped as part of a guilty plea in state court, according to the press. My God. How do these people walk amongst us? Again, proof that there are aliens walking amongst us. Seriously. Holy shit. How can a 43... At one point, this was a young, sweet, happy, beautiful baby girl. What happened? This is what... Okay. Oh, boy. This is from Dirk. This is breaking out of the Columbus area. I can't get into that right now. I shouldn't have gone down that road. It's another side story. I thought it was similar. I thought it was related to something else. My bad. All right. As always, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Dennis reached out to me and said, Zane, I have another list for the Insane Asylum. And it looks pretty damn good. I had one that was just sent to me that I published just yesterday, the Insane Asylum, with Dylan sent me a list. Well done. Bob Q, I got the rest of your list as well. If you do want to contribute to the Insane Asylum, the 2-hour music show that I publish on Thursdays, send me a list of 24 songs. This one I got to go over it song by song because there's some that I am not familiar with. There's a song by Kiss called Who Wants to Be Lonely, which I'm just looking at the list or at that name, and it just looks like a piece of shit. Kiss's Who Wants to Be Lonely is already suspect. The Afghan Wigs, Gentlemen, that's a great song. I don't know the song Tyler by the Toadies. Stray Cat Blues, that's going to be a winner by the Rolling Stones. Body Talk by Rat. Oh, my God. Stone the Crow by a band called Down. Drive-By Truckers included in this one. Great song by Elton John. All the Young Girls Love Alice. Tesla's Little Susie. Holy shit, that's got to make an appearance. Foo Fighters, Ecstatic. Don't know that one. Our Lady Peace, Happiness and the Fish. Don't know that one. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Legendary, I'm Leaving You, Commit a Crime. Eyes Without a Face by Billy Idol. Haven't heard that since Nam. Ryan Adams, Do I Wait? Don't know about that one. And Guns of Brixton by The Clash. You can't go wrong with anything by The Clash. Dennis says, Zane, love the podcast. I'm really enjoying the Insane Asylum. I thought I'd throw a list at you. Maybe you can use it or some of it or none of it, but here you go. Being 51 years old, I try to split it up between my 3 favorite decades with maybe a touch of the 60s or 2000s thrown in. Anyway, keep on keeping. Have a great weekend. Signed, Dennis. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think it's going to be a good list. You're already better than Kenny, already better than Aram. Aram I'm not going to let you escape the Leonard Cohen. I cannot. He said, yeah, it was all rock. No, it wasn't. I love you, Aram. You know that. And I did include some of the list. It wasn't as bad as Kenny's, but it was close to as bad as Kenny's. It's been hit or miss on the Insane Asylum. Okay. Asshole of the day is moments away. Okay. We will announce the asshole of the day. Who are your nominees based on what I've talked about on the show? Right onto the live stream right now in the comments who you think should be asshole of the day. Okay. I'll even put the overlay up so you can check it out. Adam says the Elton John, All the Young Girls Love Alice is great. I know that. And the Ryan Adams song is groovy too. Kenny writes, very odd list. Dude, you are not allowed to weigh in on any of the lists. You are the absolute epitome of the shittiest list that has ever happened on the Insane Asylum. The absolute worst. Did I say that? He says, for the record, you said Aram's list was worse than mine. I changed my mind. I changed it. His was bad, but yours, I only used 2 songs of yours. Nominations, Jewel Jones. Nomination for Asshole of the Day, My Sphincter. Bert says your actual asshole should win. No, that was glorious. Don't you know anything? Any of you listening that does not love the taste or smell of your own farts is lying. You all love those, and you're lying to yourself. You are very proud of those farts. You love the way they smell and the way they taste. If you could put them into a spice and sprinkle them on your food, you would do it. I know that sounds gross, but it's absolutely true. You all love your own cooking. Try not to lie. Terry says the bitch who ran over the kids. Stevie says LeBron James. Well, he was an asshole of the day yesterday, too. Amanda says she doesn't fart. You do, too. You fart out of both holes. Especially on the nights when you have one of your Tinder dates with the whatever black guy that you find on there. Okay, I would have been fired for that if I said that on the radio. Okay, let me help your business. Yeah, that's right. Those jokes, and then let me help your business. Join the army of sponsors on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Just reach out to me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I'll tell you how it works. You can be part of the Your Message Heard to the growing audience of this podcast on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and, of course, the audio podcast. Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Like Blue Frost IT. Oh, my gosh. So what you have here is a husband and wife team, a power couple that were like, you know what? We're working for the man. Why don't we not work for the man and do our own thing? That's a lot of my businesses on the podcast. So they started their own IT company. Okay. It could be managed work. It could be contracted work. It could be repairs, whatever you need for your IT setup. Blue Frost IT takes care of you, whether you're working at home, whether it's for your gaming computer, whether it's for the workplace, it's a remodel, you're moving the business, you need everything redone, you need all new equipment, they cover it all. Let's say you're in charge of a business and you want all new gear. Have Blue Frost IT sit down with a complimentary consultation for you about what your needs are. Firewalls, printers, monitors, new hard drives, new computers, new keyboards, mouses, everything. All that stuff needs to be shopped and priced based on your need. You can't just go to the store and say, well, this computer looks good and buy it. You need to talk to a professional who's going to tell you what you need. That's what Alan and I did for the computer he built for me. I go, well, I really need this. I need that. I need specific things to make the podcast go. So for the live stream, he goes, okay, well, I know exactly what to do. He prices all that out. I approve it, and he built me a computer. You can do the same thing. Have them work for your business. They also do managed work, so in case anything goes south with the computer work, you pay them just a monthly fee, and they take care of all of your tech in case anything needs updated or malfunctions. That's how it works. So basically, you have an IT department for small and medium-sized businesses. You need more information, send them an email, info@bluefrostit.com, or call 616-200-8550, 616-200-8550. And then, of course, my friends at Horizon Hydroponics. For more than 20 years, they've been serving customers who have a bit of a green thumb, whether it be soils, fertilizers, lights, whatever it is, you name it. They have it all at horizonhydroponics.com. Some of you actually are growing plants not in soil, in water, which is what hydroponics is one of the questions we featured on Bet on Ben last night for poor Melinda, who ruined that one. But, some of you folks, you grow all winter long without soil, and then the plants get nice and big, and then it comes springtime. Like in Michigan, we're getting ready to plant. You throw those in the ground and you got a huge head start, man. You're going to have cannabis plants as big as that forest of emerald in that movie, The Beach, with Leonardo DiCaprio. We're talking 10 feet high. My gosh. Holy crap. Horizon Hydroponics, Horizen, hydroponics.com. Whether you're growing flowers, vegetables, or cannabis, Horizon Hydroponics. Order online. Orders $250 and more. Shipping is free anywhere in the U.S. or order it online, pay for it, and go pick it up if you want. When you do buy something online, use the coupon code Zane Show at checkout, and that will save you 10%. Shipping anywhere in the United States. All right. Tom says, what's going on? What did Melinda do? Well, I'll just tip you off. I think the question was, what is the name of the process where plants are grown without soil? That was the question I had for Ben. And I said, Melinda, are you going to bet on Ben or against Ben? And all she has to say is on or against. And she goes, well, he might know this because of the hydroponics commercial that you do. The answer is hydroponics. So she says that, and we all go, oh, God, you fucked it up. Nick is like this. He's got his hands over his face. He's going, oh, my God, you fucked it up. So Melinda, who was no doubt thinking about the vagina she was going to chow as soon as she got done with the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, she screwed that whole thing up. Ben, and then she said, she gave the answer, and then she said, I'm betting against Ben. So she says the answer out loud and somehow manages to bet against Ben. And he's like, what? Well, it's hydroponics. Okay. And then, so he got it right, and that meant that she lost the money. Oh, my God. How the hell did you do that? Kenny says, I think she had been drinking and didn't realize it. I don't know. She might have been drinking vagina juice. That was probably the only thing she was drinking. I don't think she was drinking. It's been a very gross show today. All right. Amanda says, someone put me out of my misery with these fucking Counting Crows lyrics. Jason says, should have tossed that one and started over with her. No. All right. Asshole of the day. What do we got? Governor Whitmer for lying. Okay, I'm going to throw these nominations out there, and you guys throw some more votes at me. Governor Whitmer for lying. All right? Terry for his dumb message to me. No, I can't even say that because he said, oh, yeah, my bad. Terry's not. I cannot make Terry a nominee. Tannerite gender reveal idiot. Whitmer, gender reveal idiot. Jewel Jones, the state congressman who said he's going to call Whitmer because the state cops busted him for drunk driving. The kook who was smashing into kids with her car and is now going to jail for a long, long time. Those are your nominees. Whitmer, gender reveal idiot, Jewel Jones, or the jackass crazy lady who tried to kill kids in her car. What do you guys think? Dirk, his vote doesn't count. Okay, my asshole too for farting in bed. Mr. Jones, Whitmer, Dirk for hooking up with Whitmer when she was in Florida. You're just stupid. Nick, you dumbass. Who is it going to be? Four-way tie. Jason says Whitmer. Killer asshole of the day. Kid killer asshole of the day. Well, she kind of didn't kill him. She just smashed into him. I think it's narrowed down. Terry says, the fuck did I do? Well, you didn't do anything. I just threw your name out there and I said, no, I can't. You accused me of things. That's why, you know, I don't like that. I am narrowing it down between Jewel Jones and the crazy lady who tried to run over the kids. Whitmer is not even in the conversation, guys. Who is it going to be? Your asshole of the day brought to you by TC Paintball, and JM Synthetics. Drum roll, please. Lady who tried to kill children with her car because she's crazy. Or Jewel Jones, who said, don't you know who I am, and threatened to call the cops. Or threatened to call Whitmer because the cops busted him for being a drunk driver. The winner, the asshole of the day, is
Jewel Jones is the winner. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tom says he's a fuckhead. She's just sick. Absolutely. There is, without a doubt, Jewel Jones is the asshole of the day. What a fucking idiot. 26 years old, the entitlement on this piece of shit. He is going to be a great politician. Oh, my God. Let me tell you something. If Jewel Jones ever gets elected, because at 26 years old, this son of a bitch has bigger aspirations. He's finishing up his term as a state congressman. He's probably going to try to be a state senator, okay, or a United States congressman next. Either a state senator, United States congressman, or perhaps even a governor or a United States senator one day. And then he's young enough that he's thinking he can work his way up the ladder. Well, fuck that. Fuck that. And let's hope that there is a video that exists of him being an asshole. Okay? That would be just fantastic. All right. We have another week of podcasting in the books. And, I just couldn't be happier with it. I, again, thank you so much for making it all possible. You guys are the best. I'm going to see some of you tonight at the football game. Wear your mask or they'll throw you out of there. Okay? And let's see. I'm driving. I got limo work Saturday night. That'll be fun. And I'll have all of this back to report with you come Monday morning. Thanks again, folks. Share it if you're on Facebook. Like it. All that shit. If you could, throw a review at me on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, rate, and review. And I appreciate everything. Thanks again, folks. Till next time. Bye-bye.